This is Andrew for The Chosen Prime with a quick sneak preview video of a brand new set of products from a brand new third-party company called Ace Collectables. On the left here we've got Ace 01 Tumbler and Ace 02 Hiccups, which are this company's takes on a Masterpiece Cliffjumper and Hubcap. And so here are two pre-production test shots from Ace Collectables. Their Tumbler and Hiccups are Masterpiece Cliffjumper and Masterpiece Tumbler. You can see that both figures here are the same base mold. They have different paint, plastic heads, and they also have different accessories. And their overall design is actually based off of the official Masterpiece Bumblebee here. And you can see when put side by side with Masterpiece Bumblebee here, these Masterpiece style Minibots really do fit in and match the aesthetic set forward by the official product here. Ace Collectables here, even in this test shot form, you can see that this is a nice Cliffjumper and this is a nice Hubcap. So I'll go ahead and show you what you get off in each box. And so here are their boxes again. You can see that there's nice artwork on the front that makes a nice diorama scene. You get some quick bios for the figures, the artwork again, and then their names. And I'll show you what you get inside of Hiccups. And the one that's inside of Tumbler is essentially the same. But if you open it up, we actually get the figure, and he comes in a kind of display case here, in addition to the plastic. And so you can see that they come with this nice hard plastic shell here if you want to kind of keep him on this display stand. And he also does come with a separate display stand here. And it's kind of similar to the ones that come with the Masterpiece Seekers, and it actually has a little piece here that you can either install, you know, upwards like that for robot mode, or you can actually, if you want to, install and have him be there in car mode. So this is a nice little bonus. And then again, here's the figure, and we just pull the hard plastic off the side, and there is the figure inside of the plastic clamshell. And here are all the parts that you get in each box. You can see that they both come with that cannon that Cliffjumper used in the very first G1 episode alongside Hound. It actually does have an LED in it. Unfortunately, I don't have batteries to kind of show that off, but it will light up nice and bright. They both do come with individual hand cannons here, which just slot into their fists, and they can wield those. Cliffjumper comes with two separate heads, and I'll show them off in more detail in a second, and just to his main head. And then Hubcap here actually comes with a little kind of hand cannon piece here that you can install on either one. And so let's go ahead and take a look at some close-up detail here for Tumbler. One thing to note about both of these figures is that they are pre-production test shots, and some things may change before the final retail release. I have been told that even some of the items that have been addressed from this test shot in the next revision of this figure already, like some of the looseness and maybe some of the paint might change. But you can see here that this red on his exterior is this nice kind of glossy red, very Masterpiece-esque, on nice blue clear windows. And then one thing to note is that his feet here actually have quite a bit of die-cast in them, and they still have a nice red paint job throughout that does match the overall kind of style here set forth by Ace Collectables. And the overall kind of design aesthetic does match what the official Masterpiece Bumblebee set forth. As far as articulation, his head here can pivot on a joint here, and there's also a hinge going forward and back. And it's actually on a separate hinge as well that can be moved up and down if you want to kind of have the head sit higher or lower. It's kind of your preference. He does come with 3 different heads. This is the kind of preferred head that I like. It matches the Masterpiece Bumblebee kind of look and overall kind of Cliffjumper look. Normally you would kind of open up the back here, and there is a screw underneath the head that you would unscrew to lift up the head peg. But in this instance I've just removed it, and so it's just a matter of taking one of this head, switch it out for an alternate head they've provided here. It's a kind of an overall smaller looking head, a little bit more closer to the kind of toy look. And then they also give us a kind of larger, wider head here to fill in the space here. So you have options as far as Tumbler's head here. I still do prefer this kind of more Masterpiece Bumblebee aesthetic. It looks to me like the best kind of overall Cliffjumper head. His arms here are on a ball joint, so they can rotate around. There is a separate hinge here to move up and down, so you can kind of have his shoulders be where you like them. He does have a bicep swivel. You can bend his elbows quite a bit. His hands here, unlike Masterpiece Bumblebee, there is no hollow parts here. This panel actually opens up to hide the fist, so there's no hollow bits like there is on Masterpiece Bumblebee. He does have waist articulation. He does have an ab crunch. So he's got a basic ab crunch mostly due to transformation, and so you can actually, depending on how you like it, you can have him sit a bit taller and have his kind of torso here be a bit thinner, or you can kind of have it collapse down a little bit to kind of hide that space if you want to kind of have him be a bit shoulder. It's nice to have some different options there. His legs here and hips are similar to Masterpiece Bumblebee. They're kind of a soft ratchet, double jointed knee, mostly due to transformation. Again, he can hold up the die-cast feet here quite well. He does have a bit of ankle articulation here on each one so that he can hold different poses. And so it's a really nice effort here from Ace Collectables to make this Masterpiece styled cliff jumper. To briefly show off how you can use the flight stand here in robot mode, there's a peg that matches his screw hole in the back of his waist on either one. And you just kind of peg him in there, and then you're able to then pose him doing some more dynamic poses, and the stand can hold him pretty well. And so here's Hiccups, who is the same mold as Tumbler, just with bits of different paint. So he's got yellow paint, overall black windows and black limbs. He also has his own unique hubcap styled head, which is very nice, very evocative of G1 hubcap. He of course does come with his own little unique weapon. So you open up this panel in his hand, flip it in, and close it back up. We can take the little stub gun here, and it just pegs into the end of the hand. And so Hiccups here can have his own unique weapon, which is a nice little bonus for this variant of the mold. And as far as overall posability here, he's essentially the same as Masterpiece Bumblebee, but a little bit better because they have a few more panels and hinges to kind of work with. Some other little bits that I forgot are that he does have little rubber windows on both sides, or mirrors. And they're also missing any kind of seams on their chest here because they have no rotating Autobot logo. So let's go ahead and take a look at their transformation into their car modes. Each figure's transformation is fairly straightforward. It's very similar to Masterpiece Bumblebee in overall style. But we'll begin by coming to the hands here, and there's a panel that just lifts out, flip the fist in, and then close this in. We want to do that on both sides, so open up the panel, flip the fist in, and then close it up. Come to the head, rotate it so it's facing to his back. This backpack here will lift up and over the head. This piece here, this under piece here, will fold out, and these two hinge parts here that'll fill in to the back of the vehicle mode here, and they will lock into place. We take this entire piece here and it'll actually hinge forward and cover the faux bumper here that was on the chest. So we have the correct bumper. This little panel that's underneath the head here, we want to get it and have it flip and kind of cover the face. Make sure to push the head up as far into the back of the car as you can, so make sure that this hinge is kind of facing upwards. The arms here work similar to Masterpiece Bumblebee in that these panels will rotate around. And you see there's a peg here that'll peg into the back of the car once we get to that point. I'm going to do that on both sides. And so lift up on the back of the car and make sure that you peg in both of those pegs. And then the arms just kind of fold on their hinges, fold up into the back of the car. Come to the lower legs here. They're very similar to Masterpiece Bumblebee. We want to untab the legs here, or these panels from the legs. There actually is a tab hole that matches here. And then take the wheel and flip it out so it's to the side. I'm going to do that on both sides here. Untab it, move the wheel out of the way. Take the entire foot and straighten it out. There's a pretty strong joint here that we want to kind of get so that they are straight like this. And now at this point we want to, almost similar to Masterpiece Bumblebee, we want to hinge these legs a little bit. So we want to push it so that the leg kind of sits like that, a little bit of an angle, in order so that the entire canopy can kind of move forward. And it'll move a little bit better once we get to the end here. So we come to the torso here, and we want to hinge this entire section back as far as we can. You can see there is the red kind of car hood kind of stuck here. I think this is a part that they're going to improve when the retail release comes. We want to just pull this piece out and fold it out so that we have the car point there. And the rest essentially is like Masterpiece Bumblebee, where we just move these leg panels kind of further back into the vehicle. There's actually a little hook here on the canopy that matches the place on the leg panel. So just make sure the door's on the outside and kind of line it up on both sides. Make sure the doors are on the outside and locked in. And then once you get it all sandwiched kind of closer together, there's a locking kind of mechanism at the very front of the car that you sandwich together, making sure everything's pegged together. And there is Tumbler in his car mode. So I've been told that this alt mode is a Porsche 924. I'm not quite sure how accurate that assessment is. It is a nice small scaled sports car. You can see that this red paint overall is a nice red glossy paint similar to other Masterpiece figures. The windshields are a nice blue. He's got some blue taillights. He's got some headlight detail here painted on. He does have rubber tires, all 4 rubber tires, and he does roll freely. It's overall a nice sleek looking sports car here. And to compare him with the others, and here's an alternate mode comparison for the 3 Minibots. You can see that Tumbler and Hiccups are roughly the same scale and size as Masterpiece Bumblebee overall. Similar paint colors as well, similar length. And you know, it makes sense for these guys all to be the same size. And again, these wheels all roll freely, are nice rubber wheels. Nice bits of detail across all 3 comparatively. Really cool looking alt modes here, and a good solution to making these guys smaller whilst making them look like a really cool looking car. So let's take a look at some other comparisons for these figures. Robo mode comparison with some other Masterpiece style Minibots. Here we've got Bag Cubes Brawny, we've got Masterpiece Bumblebee, and we've got X-Transbot's Hatch. You can see that these new ones from Ace Collectables fit well with other Masterpiece style figures. They're nice size overall, stylistically. They look good side by side, kind of regardless of where you're getting your Masterpiece Minibots from. And again, the plastic and the overall kind of glossy paint really match not only the official effort, but also some other unofficial product as well. And here's an alternate mode comparison. You can see how well Tumbler and Hiccups fit together with other Minibots like Brawny and Boost and Hatch. Robo mode comparison with some larger Autobots. Here we've got Masterpiece Optimus Prime MP10, we've got Masterpiece Wheeljack. You can see the Ace Collectables versions of Cliffjumper and Hubcap scale well with other larger official product. It's nice to see a nice Masterpiece Minibot scale here with these 2 figures. And alternate mode comparison with bigger bots. You can see that as small sports cars, I think these 2 look and fit well alongside the bigger bots like Prime and Wheeljack here. Some final thoughts on these preview figures from Ace Collectables. They're Tumbler and Hiccups. Building off what came before with Masterpiece Bumblebee, the company has designed and built a very nice Masterpiece Cliffjumper as well as Hubcap. And amongst these other Autobots, they just look like the G1 characters. Even amongst official and unofficial product, this looks like Cliffjumper, this looks like Hubcap. Even in test shot form, the paint's good, the plastic's good, the overall build and kind of accessory count is good. This is what I would hope a Masterpiece Cliffjumper would look like, and as well as Hubcap. I mean, they look like what they should look like next to Masterpiece Bumblebee here. They're just really excellent figures here in test shot form. As far as availability for these guys from Ace Collectables, they will be sold individually. Pre-orders for each one should be going up fairly soon, and we shouldn't have to wait too much longer after that to get the retail figures. And so if you're looking for a Masterpiece Cliffjumper or Masterpiece Hubcap, these first efforts from Ace Collectables here are very nice, and I think they would fit with any other Masterpiece Autobots in your collection. So take care.